I went to a work gathering once at a log cabin in Yamagata, and they just got drunk and they just took their clothes off and started running around. It was like, what is going on here?
Very liberating.
It's really weird. It's very odd.
Yeah.
They love to do it.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to the Abroad in Japan podcast. Probably the best way of learning about life in Japan without actually being in Japan. I'm your host, Chris Broad, and we're joined as always by England's top Japan enthusiast, Mr. Pete Donaldson himself. Pete, how the devil are you doing? What's going on?
Hello, London calling. How is everybody? Is everybody keeping safe in their beds? Hello. That's all I've got.
Simulator.
That's all I've got. Hello,
Blitz.
Germany calling.
Well, look at this. If I was going to listen to Pete Radio, I would hold this. This is a Kenko cassette radio player that I bought 3 days ago. Yes.
The coffee provider, Kenko. What's going on here?
Don't you remember Kenko? The Kenko Corporation? They used to make like cassette players.
No, I remember
CDs.
I remember the coffee people doing Kenko. How did Kenko get away with making coffee when Kenko, the electronics manufacturer? Look, put simply, you've got a little Walkman there for those not listening on video, not watching on video. You've got a little Walkman there that seems to be a radio as well, and it's got like a big retractable and extractable.
Indeed.
Oh,
it's on without me realising it. Listen to this.
Still got a bit of FM in Japan then.
Yeah,
gives a bit of a blast.
Oh shit.
We do have FM, but we've got my Toyota Century has 2 channels, 5 live on AM, and we've got Radio 2 on FM. So it's absolutely nightmarish.
A radio though, come on.
It's FM. Everything's digital nowadays, though, isn't it? Well, that's the great thing about staying in Japanese hotels. There's always like a little FM radio installed. If you've got like a 1970s hotel, you'll always have a little radio installed in your bed.
Yeah, they sort of phased those out. When I first got here in 2012, like so many business hotels in Japan had that kind of unit in between the 2 twin beds. And they had a cassette player, but they've
Love
gone
it
now and they've taken history with them.
That's
but
a shame.
Look at this. I've got a cassette, and I don't know how to open it. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
it's a cassette of my favourite Japanese artist, Tatsuro Yamashita, which I bought the other day at Tower Records, for a video that you may or may not yet see, which is coming out on Sunday, June the 2nd. So actually, yes, it's out, isn't it?
It's out now.
We're recording.
Yeah, I think
just before
we're recording way in advance now because we fell foul of Chris having to do, I don't know, cycling up a volcano or whatever he gets up to, so we had to. So we thought, you know what, let's get ahead so that Pete doesn't have what can only be described as an aneurysm. But you were saying about you'd bought a cassette from Tower Records, mirroring the fact that you bought, I think, a cassette. Did we have Tower Records in the UK?
I don't think we did we? It was always like HMV or MVC or whatever it's called, and Virgin Records.
MVC.
Yeah, Virgin Records are still around a little bit, I think, although they only left Japan not that long ago. It's kind of the iconic Virgin megastores, but Tower Records is still good fun though. It's my favourite shop in Tokyo. I've got a video coming out, which is out now, which you should watch, guys, called I Tried Every Japanese Station in Tokyo. Every Japanese station, every train station in Tokyo.
Oh, nice.
And I spent a long day going at every single stop on the Yamanote line, all 30 of them.
Right.
It was hell on earth. It's not as fun as it sounds.
No.
And I tried to do one thing at each stop. And for Shibuya, I went to Tower Records and bought Tatsuro Yamashita on cassette. And then the second to last stop, Yurakucho, I went to the electronics store and I bought a cassette player to play my cassette.
Play the cassette. And the cycle of the basically Japan's circle line is closed. It's like the snake ate the tail of the snake. Fantastic.
That's right. I didn't know like the first stop is Tokyo Station. Actually, they numbered the stations, and Tokyo Station's number 1. But it was cool. I discovered some parts of Tokyo I didn't know existed. Like the nicest place we went to was Nezu Shrine, which made it to the video. It's a beautiful shrine. And it's got like the torii gates like you find in Fushimi Inari, Taisha, where you've got like the snaking kind of torii gates up the hill. They got that in Tokyo. It was quite nice. There was nobody there. I could enjoy it myself. You know.
On the day before I left Japan, the time before last, I did a similar trip. I was like, I'm just going to get on the Yamanote line and just go round and see what's around there. And I think I was round in, it must have been near Akihabara. You know those kind of like weird stations not quite Akihabara on the old Circle Line, Nippori and Nippori and Kamina. Is it Kamini? I'm looking at the now Oji and Kamina. Is that on the Circle Line? Either way, Otsuka and places like that. The only thing that really tickled me was a massive chimney. It was just a big chimney burning nappies or whatever, just burning trash 24/7. But it really dominated the skyline. But it is worth doing, just kind of like getting a bit of a scope for the whole place, because obviously you're going to be going to your imperial palaces. You're going to be travelling to Akihabara and Kanda and Shimbashi and places like that. But getting a little bit of a, because the first place I sort of stayed in was around sort of Shinagawa sort of way, like in Tokyo. The first time I kind of went around that way, like real kind of like business districts, and I didn't really get a kind of scope of Shiodome and stuff. Massive hotel in Shiodome, and then I moved over to Shibuya and Shinjuku, and I was like, oh yeah, this is better actually for my interests. Drinking,
Shiodome is cool. It's more like Shiodome and the skyscrapers. It's more like honeymoon couples. It's a sort of honeymoon spot, but. Nice place. Not Shinjuku or Shibuya though, for sure. But it was cool. I'm looking forward to seeing, looking forward to sharing some of these places I went with viewers though, because
awesome.
I think people want to see more of the unseen, hidden Tokyo, right? And not even it's so hidden, not even I know where it is. So I had to go and look for it myself, and I did, and now I know where it is. And it's at Nishi-Nippori Station, if you're wondering where the hidden Tokyo is. But check it out. We've got a story this week from Chad, who says, hello, Corrupt Chris and Panhandling P. Corrupt Chris, what is this? I've been living in Osaka for a year now. I love punk rock and actually made friends with a local band. At the beginning of the night, the lead vocalist of the band came up to me and thanked me for coming to support his band's EP launch. He was wearing a canary yellow 3-piece Southern gentleman type suit, which was very eye-catching, so I knew he'd be quite the character. As the evening went on, I noticed him getting more and more drunk, and I was thinking, oh boy, this performance is going to be interesting. Well, I had no idea just how interesting. During his performance, he was flailing around, managed to wander off stage, and after being hauled back up by one of his bandmates, he proceeded to topple over again. Yet he continued singing while spread out prone on the floor. There was a pause in between songs, and I turned to talk to a friend. When I turned back around, after what was a few seconds, he was standing full Captain Morgan pose with his leg on a speaker, totally naked. He then proceeded to perform for another 20 minutes, naked, and even jumped off the stage, again, fully naked. Have you guys had any crazy things like this happen to you, Chad? No, Chad. No, I have not had this happen, ever.
No. I would say that the Japanese male, there's something wrong with them. They love getting their meat and potatoes out. They love getting absolutely Billy Bollocks for no reason. And if you're in the punk rock space, one would suggest that you were only seconds away. I think we heard from a couple of people before where, I think we saw like a punk band and they were getting completely naked. So I like the fact. In my mind, I think that he's not even releasing an EP. He's just like, EP standing for early problems. I'm just going to drink, and you're going to have a good time. And brilliant. It's exactly what you want from a trip to Japan. Just go and watch a punk rock band, because people go a bit insane. It's great.
You're right as well. Like, guys do like to get naked here. I don't know. I went to a work gathering once at a log cabin in Yamagata, and with some teachers, 5 or 6 Japanese teachers and a fellow foreign colleague. And they just got drunk and they just took their clothes off and started running around. It was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Very liberating.
It's really weird. It's very odd.
Yeah,
they love to do it. I don't know why.
It's I think it's it's very liberating, but I would say that even like when I go and watch on the recent trip I went to DDT, the wrestling. I mean, everyone's almost naked anyway because they're wrestlers. They got even more naked. They had like those kind of jockstrap trousers where it covers the unmentionables at the front, the gentleman's agreement, as a podcast once said, and leaves the buttocks completely out and about. And they were jamming each other's faces in their bums and stuff. And like, there's just something funny about bums that the Japanese find absolutely heartbreakingly interesting.
Well, on this occasion, I still don't know why they did get naked. I don't know. Just happens, doesn't it? And that wasn't the
Bit of a
first
giggle,
time at a
innit?
work party. Crazy old work parties.
What a shame.
But yeah, Chad, he didn't say the name of the band either, did he? Probably for a good reason.
No, yeah, give us the details, man. Let us know.
Dear, oh dear. Well, we've had a story that's been ongoing for many years now, actually. It's one of the first stories we covered in 2018 when we started this podcast, and that was the story of Japanese billionaire Yusuke Maezawa, former owner of Zozo Town, a clothing store, online shop that he sold for billions. He was going to go to the moon on Elon Musk's incredible Starship rocket. And it's sort of been this, and he did some testings. He was going to take some artists with him. It was going to be magical. And I think deep down we all knew that it was never, ever going to happen. And believe it or not, it's not happening anymore. He cancelled his flight on Elon Musk's rocket, and he knew shit was going down when neither of them followed each other on Twitter anymore. Elon Musk famously, when he doesn't like someone, he just unfollows them. And they're not friends. They're not friends anymore. What's going on there, Pete? Fill us in. Why did he cancel?
On Friday night, the Dear Moon project, a plan to launch a Japanese billionaire and 10 other crew members on a circumlunar flight aboard SpaceX's Starship vehicle, was cancelled. The financial backer of the project, Yusuke Maezawa, explained his decision on X, Elon's garden, so to speak. He basically said that when he agreed to this mission in 2018, he wanted to launch by 2023. Now my priorities have changed. Presumably he wants to not be in space and be in the world. I don't really know. He had a net worth of about $3 billion. Obviously, in between 2018 and now, the pandemic and stuff like that, his net worth has halved. So he also went to space in 2021 above Russian Soyuz vehicle for a 12-day trip to the ISS. So it sounds very much like he's had his taste of the biscuit, and he doesn't want any more. Can't be arsed. He's like, the Russians got me there. Sorry, Elon. The Russians got me there. I'm not going to spend money on your silly space adventures. I've already gone up, and also I've watched a lot of your rockets explode recently.
Yeah, probably didn't help either. He went up on the ISS, International Space Station. You can go up on it for about $80 million a pop, and you can fly from Baikonur Cosmodrome on a Russian rocket, right? From $80 million quid. And you get to spend 10 to 12 days up on the International Space Station. And a few folks have done it. Imagine coughing up that much money. I think if I had a few billion quid kicking around, I might be tempted to do it. But I won't even dare to dream at this point.
No.
There's all these silly space. There's like the Richard Branson one, right? Where you pay like $500,000 or $250,000 to go on his one. What's it called? Virgin.
Oh, I don't know. The
Orbit,
beard.
Not Virgin.
The big space
Virgin
beard.
Earth. Oh, fuck, I can't remember what it's called. Virgin.
Right.
Silly bollocks rocket, where you get to go in space for like 1 second, although it's not technically space because it doesn't go like 100 kilometres into the atmosphere, unlike the Amazon one, which does. But all of these things, it just seems like a waste of money because you get to pop up into the sky for a bit, waste a lot of petrol, and look at a cloud and then come back down. At least this one on the International Space Station, which costs 80 million quid, at least you're actually in orbit on the International Space Station. That
12
is money
days,
well
that's
spent.
Amazing. Yeah.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
If you want to let me 80 million quid, Pete, I'll do it.
Maybe
I'll
he just didn't. Maybe he saw something up there, Chris.
Maybe
he saw something in space, Chris, and he doesn't want to go back. Maybe he owes someone a space alien some money. He doesn't want to go back. Ooh.
That sounds like a manga waiting to happen, doesn't it?
He started a business. He started a space clothes business with an alien, and he doesn't want to go back because it's all gone very sour.
What he did up there, though, he made like some YouTube videos. And I think I speak to a Japanese friend, and Yusuke Maezawa is not actually very popular in Japan because he's very ostentatious with his money, shall we say? Most
not very Japanese. Yeah.
Well, I have met like Japanese billionaires, and you wouldn't know it. They're very frugal, very nice, normal people. And Yusuke Maezawa is very much like, I'll buy the biggest apartment, I'll fly in private jets, and I'll vlog it on my YouTube channel and show it off. And I think he spent like 100 million quid on a painting once, and it's all very not what you do in Japan, right? This is all very ostentatious behaviour that's frowned upon. So when he went up to the moon, or when he went up to the space station, made his YouTube videos, I think a lot of folks weren't too impressed. And he did something silly up there. I can't remember what he did. I think he just spun around in a circle or just... I don't know.
He stuck his chopsticks in his rice. Oh God! He spoke on the space train. Ooh. Very not Japanese.
He was talking on the Soyuz rocket when he should have been quiet.
No talking on the Soyuz rocket.
I can't say I'm surprised.
No,
but I think I wonder if he gets his money back, because he actually had to put down like a deposit, I think, of like 100 million quid to do this, right? And I wonder if the reason they're no longer Twitter friends, Elon and Yusak, is because he's like, I want the money back, and Elon's like, no.
I believe if you put money down on the old. There's a new Tesla that's like, it was promised about 3 years ago, and you could put a bit of money down for it's like a racing Tesla sort of thing, and it's not been released yet, and they keep saying it's going to be released. I believe that deposit may not be refundable, so maybe that's the business model of Tesla. Maybe it is just like, put your money down, if you've got stocks in Tesla you get to the front of the queue, but there's no promises that you're going to get anything. So I don't know I don't know enough about it, but
I will say I don't know. It is odd that he would cancel now, because it was abundantly clear for the last few years that this was not going to happen in 2023. Yeah. I assumed he would just sort of like stick it out to 2025, see how it goes. Because 2025, it's a lot more doable. Like, it is actually doable potentially, that they can have the Starship go around the moon. But 2023, when it's still... it's not. They've not had a manned mission yet. It blows up an awful lot when it's going into orbit. Yeah, it's not happening, is it? I don't know why. It's probably all the. What do you call it when you bounce around a plane? Turbulence. Probably all the turbulence he's seen. He's like, I'm not going through them. The turbulent clouds. Sod that. But fair play to SpaceX. Whatever you think of Elon Musk, and he's certainly gone down a lot of people's estimations, I do think SpaceX is a very impressive company, or what he's managed to do there. I'm cheering them on. Not really cheering on Twitter at this point. That's not so good. Or X, whatever it's called.
If you put that amount of money, you know, like when you like pre-order something, you'll get like a founder's edition kind of version of the product. So you reckon for like that, £1 billion or whatever he gave to Elon, or however much it was, do you reckon he got like a lovely little box, like a lovely white box with embossed printing going, Yusak, you are going to space, and you open up and it's your spacesuit or something? I just hope he got something out of the deal, instead of just like, yeah, see you later, yeah, we'll go on the spaceship next year. Ooh.
It's like that story of Terrence Stamp, the actor Terrence Stamp, who's in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, and he plays like the head of the Emperor of the Universe, whatever. He's like the main ruling guy, and he didn't want to do it. He was a bit like reluctant, but his agent was like, "Oh, it's Star Wars, it'll be amazing." Yeah, and he didn't have a good time. It was all on a green screen backdrop at Pinewood, and he's like, "But if you do this part, George Lucas gives you a special gift." And he's like, "Okay, I'll get a special gift." And he goes into his trailer after the shoot's finished, and he's like, George Lucas has left you a gift on your table. And he goes in, and it's just a Star Wars stencil set. Stencils.
Ah, yes.
And he's like, what the fuck is this?
I would have preferred a turd on the table, probably. George has left you a little... He's shat in the trailer. Every year, my mate gets a cake from Tom Cruise.
Oh, really? He's part of the Tom Cruise...
Part of the Tom Cruise cake. I don't know what the whole deal is there, but if you've if you've won fallen, if you won favour with Tom, you get a cake. But yeah, he gets constant cakes from Tom Cruise, and like I don't like cake. That would keep me in cake for years. Give me 2 cakes a year, and that's the amount of cake I'm eating. I'm not a big cake guy, so. Yeah. Just the logistics of shipping. I think it's made in like Hollywood. It's made in like Beverly Hills or something, this coconut cake. Right. And he ships it around the world to hundreds of people. Fair play. A cake. Where's Eat the cake. It's Tom Cruise's cake. Eat the cake. What would that be? Just a half-eaten goulash in a wrapper. It would be one of those cakes you get in a dog food shop. Enjoy your big cookie. Just of meat. Half-opened, desecrated coolish in a bag being shipped to hundreds of listeners. There used to be a TV show called not Johnny English. Good God! Anyway, the theme tune was played on the trombone. Johnny Briggs in the 80s, and And 90s. And one of the only episode I or my friends ever remembered was the time where they had a wedding cake, I think, for his sister in the basement. But him and his brother were so hungry, they simply had to eat a slice of cake. And so they basically fixed the situation in that they'd eaten a quarter of the cake. To replace the cake that had been eaten, they basically made kind of like half the cake out of toothpaste and cardboard to pretend it hadn't been eaten. So, Johnny Briggs, that's basically what my cake would taste of. Toothpaste and cardboard.
Like a Blue Peter project.
A Blue Peter project.
Sellotape it together.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like a SpaceX rocket.
Yeah, don't ask me what my SpaceX rocket would look like. It would be awful.
Oh. But no, I am kind of sad. I am sad that this isn't happening deep down. And apparently Yusuke Maizawa's also lost a lot of money because his money, the Japanese yen is now worthless, and so they've halved his net worth. They've just chopped it in half because it's in yen in it. So, but maybe it's not. It's a big assumption. Maybe he keeps his money elsewhere. Maybe he's cleverer than that. Anyway,
maybe he's debanked. Keeps it in a big shoe.
We'll never hear about Yusuke Maizawa again, unless we meet him. I was going to interview him for Abroad in Japan at one point, but no point now, is there? That was the one fun thing he was going to do. Anyway, he's blown it. Not only does he get no SpaceX rocket, he doesn't get a slipshod documentary in Abroad in Japan that he gets to appear in. Too bad, you suck. Too bad. We'll be back in just a moment, guys, with your stories, comments and questions over in the fax machine.
Wow.
And we're back with the fax machine. What have we got this week from our listeners, Mr. Donaldson? Fill us in.
We got loads of messages. Thank you very much for getting in touch, everyone. Hi, guys. My wife and I go to Japan at least once a year. We love the place. And our dream is to one day buy a little aparto or mansion somewhere in the wider Tokyo region. Property prices seem to be really reasonable compared with a lot of places we've lived in Australia and the US. So what's the catch? Are Japanese properties cheap compared with the rest of the world, or are there a bunch of hidden costs, renovations, owners, committee issues that come with buying? Cheers, JB from Melbourne, with plans and dreams in their heart.
I mean, there is no issue with buying it, really. It's just that, why would you? I think people have glamorised the idea of renovating a house. I think if you're really into renovations, then go for it. Like Charlotte and her friend Ushka just love renovating things. Even if nobody stayed in Neko House, they'd still renovate it for fun.
Why she's gone out with you, Chris? The ultimate renovation project.
Maybe it's to escape
I will fix him.
Yeah, maybe she can always flee and just go and live in the house if she decides she hates me one day. But the houses are cheap, but you've still got to renovate it, and that still costs like $100,000. So it's not the be all and end all, is it?
A lot of the houses are not up to code with the old earthquake business. So, and also a lot of houses are cheap because they've got a lot of debt tied into them. So if you take on that house, you take on that debt as well. But I'm sure there are bargains to be had. The Cheap Houses in Japan Instagram page that me and Takahirose from the band Feeder both follow, I've noticed. He'll occasionally like a house in Japan. I'm like, oh, that's a good one, that Taka. It's really good. But that site's great because it is just like, oh my God, look what you can get in a Bari. Look what you could get in Takata. Look what you can get in Osaka. It's great.
It's a cool account. The Cheap Houses Japan, whatever it's called, right? Yeah. I'm always amazed what you can get, though. Don't get me wrong. I've thought about getting somewhere at some point, but there's a lot of effort in it. I'd rather just not renovate a house. Just
woodworm. It's just a lot of wood in the house, and I'm just worried about woodworm and wood beetles and stuff. Ugh.
And it's a real issue here as well. But I think you'd find if you'd bought a house here, there's a lot more costs that would be involved down the line that would make it less tantalising. Hello, Chris and Pete. I'll be going to university in Japan for 4 years, says Saeed from Singapore, embarking for my undergraduate degree in computer science in either Tokyo or Yamanashi. My family is not the most well off, and though I have school fees sorted out, other necessities such as phone lines or transportation are for me to figure out. I'm planning to work part-time jobs there. So my question to you both is, do you have any tips for a student for a student to save money while staying there? And do you know many part-time occupations that would accept foreign students to perform them? Thank you. Keep up the good work. Stay safe, Side from Singapore. Part-time occupations. That sounds very, very clinical and very World War II-y. Fuck. This is a tough one. Save money. How do you save money in Japan, Pete?
how do you say money? $1 ramen. The Giro ramen that we spoke about in the last episode. I mean, presumably it's just it's instant noodles and veg, I suppose, isn't it? Hit the markets.
Yeah,
get your cheap veg.
Yeah, go Jiro ramen.
Learn to cook
if it's not burnt down. Last week we covered Japan's cheapest ramen, Ramen Jiro. It's a chain where they have lots of bean sprouts in the ramen, and it costs like 500 yen. Very hearty meal. You got a queue, and you have to eat it in like 8 minutes, but it's very cheap, and that's why all the students go there. So eat that, innit? Ramen Jiro.
Could you sort of bash out if you're skilled in something? Could you sort of set up a little fiver? Helping people out with their computer issues, say from Singapore. Like, is there, or I imagine there's probably some grey market work that could be gleaned in the Singaporean diaspora if you sort of, joined up with them. I mean, I presume you can speak some kind of language that isn't quite as popular in Japan. Maybe that could help you out somewhere.
Yeah.
As the most English monolingual useless man in the world, I have no skills that could be transferable. If you put me in Japan, I could only do TEFL.
You could teach them a northern accent,
and they even wouldn't let me do that. So
teach them a Hartlepool accent.
Could do, yes. And gosh, I can dance.
That is terrible. The idea, people wouldn't pay for that. People would not pay to watch you dance. They'd pay to leave.
My
the
dances are epic. They range from hands in the air, pumping. I've got this one. This is my signature move that nobody can steal. To the beat, yeah.
Oh wow!
Slap my hand on the.
Watching too much Martin Scorsese. You're watching too much Wolf of Wall Street.
On the old chest. Wayne Rooney's favourite film, apparently.
Is it really? Why am I not surprised? Bloody
Wayne Rooney.
Keep the stories, questions, comments coming in, guys, to broadjapanpodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back later in the week all over again, but for now, no matter where you might be, out there in the big wide world, have yourself a great few days. We'll see you right back here to do it all over again on the Abroad Japan podcast. Bye for now.
Goodbye.